Hey y'all, this video will be about my book Planned Parenting. How many kids should I have? And this was a book that I wrote 2 years ago while I was pregnant because I was trying to figure out if I just wanted one or multiple kids. So currently I have one son who's a year and a half, and I was married before. I was married for 7 years to a guy named Ben. We had 2 girls. And it was interesting. I remember, okay, I prayed for my first daughter with tears. I really, really wanted to have a daughter. So I got a daughter. But then after that, it was more my ex-husband's decision to get me pregnant a second time. And I remember him saying, "I'm sorry about me getting pregnant a second time." And I was like, "It's okay. I wanted Serenity to have a sibling." So we had baby number 2. It was Joy, and she was very sweet. It was a little bit difficult being pregnant and having a kid to watch. I just remember laying on the couch and watching a lot of TV. Luckily, my daughter Serenity was pretty easy, so that was nice. She mostly just played with her toys and was quiet while she was awake, so that was great. Anyways, I remember when I was a kid, this is why I wrote this book, because when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I thought I wanted to have 6 kids someday, because, there was a woman at my church who had 6 kids, and I greatly admired her. Her name was Mrs. Brown, and I was like, wow, how did she do that? That's crazy, but very admirable. Super cool that she could have the stamina to have 6 births, but then also just to manage 6 kids. But I've been working with kids ever since I was 14, 26 years, multiple kids. Like, I've always had jobs where I'm in charge of, like, I don't know, 15 to, I'm going to say 40 kids. For a while, I was running an after-school program at a private school, and I was in charge of 40 kids at various times. Anyways, so I think I'm perfectly capable of managing lots of children, but I'm almost 40, so does that mean, I don't know. It was so funny, like about 3 months ago, someone posted on Twitter, "Get off of Twitter and go make babies." And I was like, that's really interesting, the timing on that, because my ex and I were considering having a second kid. But I don't know if that is a wise thing in the house that I'm currently living in, because it's kind of small. But if I was in a bigger house, then maybe it could work out to have more. But then I was thinking, when I was writing that book, I was thinking about the pros and the cons. Like, okay, if you have an only child, they get all the attention. I had one older brother, and I always felt neglected. I always felt like the invisible child, because my brother had ADD, so he was always like in special ed classes. Anyways, the attention and the focus was always on him, and I felt forgotten. So that's the benefit of having just one, is that you can focus on that kid. Nobody feels neglected. And then I had 2 daughters in my last marriage, and I did feel like, I made a promise to myself that I would not neglect the younger child, but then I probably maybe ended up neglecting the older child. It's just hard, it's hard to give everybody attention, for sure. I think that's why most families have 2 kids, though, so that one parent can focus on one kid, and then the other parent can focus on the other kid. And then if you have 3, then you have, like, the middle child syndrome, possibly. Like, I became the middle child once my mom met my stepdad, because then I had a younger stepbrother and an older brother. So then I was the forgotten middle child. Yeah, you could say I've actually been in all different situations. I was the youngest when I was little. Then I was basically an only child in high school, because my brother was out of the home. And then I was the middle child with my stepbrother. And then my older brother went back to Nebraska to be with his son. So then I was like the oldest, because then it was me and my younger stepbrother. Which one did I like? Honestly, I preferred more being the only child, I think, when I was in high school, or feeling like I was the only child. That was my most successful time of my life when I was in high school. Although I would say it felt lonely. But I had plenty of friends, so that made up for basically feeling like an only child. But it did feel lonely, but I was the most successful. Like, I was getting straight A's. I was, like, doing everything, every extracurricular activity. I did basketball, choir, MUN, which was Model United Nations. It was like a debate club. That was pretty fun. I did ASB. I was the senior class vice president. So, like, anything I could think to do in high school, I did. But I'm sure it's partly because I was bored. Because I was basically an only child. I don't know. It's really hard to say. But then, when I was the youngest, it was fun. Because I always had my older brother to look up to. But then I was also kind of jealous of him. That he was, like, stronger and smarter, you know. Yeah. And then when I was basically the oldest, when I had my younger stepbrother, that was fun because I could tell that he looked up to me and I would take him to church, like this cool church for young people. And that was fun. So maybe that was my favorite birth order position to be in, like being the oldest, basically. I don't know. I remember he ended up joining the Navy. I think I was 28 and he was like 21. And he decided to join the Navy. And I was like, that's good. I'm sure your dad's really proud of you that you're finally doing something with your life. And he was like, hey. And I was like, what? But I was really proud of him to do something like that. Good job to him. Anyways, pray for me, y'all, because I seriously still don't know what I want. If I want one child who's like gets all the attention, or if I want multiple children, I don't know. It's a hard decision. Every parent has to decide that. Anyways, may God give you wisdom on your own decisions on how many kids to have, or grandkids. God bless y'all. God bless. Bye.